There's just always been something cool about being able to take the blank canvas, the blank paper, whatever it is.
Having like some raw materials or an idea and fleshing it out to be something that you can enjoy.
Just having that time where I get to, move paint around on the canvas, there's just nothing like it that I've experienced.
It's a healthy, regular practice for me to create. It can easily become an obsession. And so it's a fine line between like recognizing that this is how I'm wired and allowing it to become a vice or a drug or some unhealthy thing in my life to where everything can fall apart in pursuit of this. My primary modality was like rhyme writing or lyric composition, rapping, And I just love the process, I love the creative process. I love telling a story to rhythm and syncopation and beats and all that. That energy, I love that. And I've been doing it for so long. When I started pulling back from, performing and creating music at that capacity, it was almost like an identity crisis. Like, this is what I do, this is my purpose, you know what I'm saying? And it took a lot of like running into a wall with that to kind of start unpacking like purpose and identity and like who am I outside of this?
I used to be very realistic. I got to a point where there was just no learning and moving forward in that. And I felt very stuck. I've learned a lot, especially in the past year, as I've let go of any form of realism in my work.
In God's grace, just was able to start looking at things just differently. I started to see that I really enjoy cooking, doodling and drawing and painting when I get the opportunity to. It's not necessarily the mediums, it's the way you approach creative processes or creation.
In my work, I'm acknowledging the chaos and just the messiness of life, but knowing that there's beauty and there's good in it all, even if we don't see it right now, we can know right now that He is good. As in my life, I've let go of control. I've also let go of that and found freedom in my painting, and it feels so much better.
It's a slippery slope, this thing, creation, and being a micro creator, to desire the glory, but to know that it's better suited to be given and offered to the creator, I think about Lucifer, I guess, I think about a created being that is incredibly gifted, if not the best at their modality. He was creating with his gifts something and was able to distort and pervert that value and place it on himself. We're not designed to receive the glory at that capacity. I think typically that sort of glory does create ruin.
My work, doesn't technically, you wouldn't think it's Christian art or, what does that even mean? But when I'm able to share the root of what my pieces come from, what better way, to use my gifts as a way to reflect God and His creativity. There's just something about painting that I'm able to tell His story best through that.
That's been a lot of the learning the last 10 years, figuring out where art fits, who benefits from it when wielded in a way that is not for my own selfish glory or praise, but what it looks like to exalt God through it and to allow God's character to shine through it, to draw people unto Himself, to create spaces for people that are healthy. Art music just unpacks life in another dimension than just talking about it. You can feel it, you can smell it, you can hear it, your senses are opened up in almost praise and worship of the Creator if you wield it with that intention.
I get to create knowing that I was created to reflect my creative God. And it's just so much greater than creating for myself. Yeah, I feel like there's just a greater message and greater story that comes along with that.